We are having some fun today. Good morning. Gonna have another nice sunny day. I think this morning while we're waiting for the beans to dry out and get ready, we're gonna go finish picking up our irrigation pipe. Sounds like Dad and Phil are gonna come and help me, so we ought to get it done, which will be nice to have that project out of the way. Yesterday, my Uncle Jack was up, and him and Dad got our pipe trailer unloaded. Almost. There's just a few with the risers on the top yet. I think I'm gonna throw those off, and then we should be able to get all of the rest of the pipe that's still in the field on the trailer, and then we'll be done. There's all of the stuff that we picked up the other day. Well, we got all the piles picked up. Now the rest of it is all laying out from here to the end. It's not that much. It's not that much. So Phil's gonna drive alongside with the tractor. Dad and I'll just set them on as we go. Okay, well, that job is done. We are finally done with all of the irrigation stuff. All that is left to do is reap the rewards of all of our effort, and that'll be a month or so before we get into corn harvest, especially up there, because that's going to be wet. So it's about 10 o'clock. Heavy dew this morning. Like, my boots and pants are soaked just from walking through the cornfield up there where I wasn't actually even walking through the corn. So it's going to be a little bit before we can combine beans, which means I've got a couple of hours here this morning. I think I'm gonna run around, do a little bit of seed business stuff, try and talk to a couple of customers and check in, see if I can figure out where we're at with a couple of people and maybe get some orders started here. So I will see you guys when it's time to go to the field and combine beans. Okay, I'm back. Good conversation, a couple growers. Anyway, Phil and I are gonna head over to the field and see if we can't get started here. I'm probably gonna drop him off and let him take that first load of beans in, and then grab something to eat real quick and go back and finish filling the grain cart. It should be full by the time he gets back, so we can keep moving. Time to go. All right, well, this shouldn't take too terribly long over here. We've got about 50 acres left. I think 3 hours, I suppose. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it real well, but all these spots where the stuff is kind of piled up, or where the spread didn't happen, they're all spots where I had to stop last night because the head was pushing. So we got a little bit of a ragged cut in that last couple of passes, but it's not too bad. It'll be okay. So far, no issues here today. Added benefit of having Phil around here to haul trucks is he can go way faster hauling than I can fill it. So while he's waiting, might as well run the cart. Slow her down there. Slow her down. They're dry again. This field's got a lot more variation in it than others. We get in this low ground and they're really good beans, and then you climb up the hill and they're not. I adjusted my colors on my yield map here so you can actually see it. Oh, make it bigger. There. And you can see the purple areas are the kind of the hilltops and knobs that were just too dry and they're no good. But that low ground there, all the green spots, has got better water holding capacity. Beans held on, did better. We're moving right across here. We got up to 60 acres done, about 26 left to go. Beans are still good. We're up to 51 average for the field. My grain cart driver is back. We got another load hauled in. Okay, see this spot in the beans right here? Yeah, that'd be erosion. That's where the dirt kind of settled out. It washed down this hill when we had that big rain back in the spring. Covered up some of the beans. That's why there wasn't any there. So the field got a little flatter this year. I tell you what, we are having fun again today, flying across this field. It's about 3 o'clock now, but we've picked up some speed. We're running a little over 5 miles an hour now. The beans are dry. They're feeding in really nice. I haven't had any issues with cut quality or anything. This is great. We've got just 2 more rounds to do here, and we'll be wrapping this field up. Then the question is, what do we do next? We're gonna have to go look at a couple of fields, I think, and try and make a decision on what we think is the driest. Phil's back. He'll get one more load off of this field hauled in, and then whatever's left we'll probably just take home, I would assume. Well, I guess it depends on where we go from here, but going well today. Yep, we're having fun today. All right, we're done. 50.7, it says. 51, we're gonna call it. Not bad on 85, 86 acres here. We'll take it. Cleaning. Oh man, I'm about to get dusty. Better than starting the combine on fire, I suppose. Well, that blower works pretty good. I do like it. The biggest problem and downfall with it is that I get dusty using it. So try and work with the wind a little bit so the wind's blowing the dust away from you, but you can only do so much. So anyway, we've got to go look at some fields. We've got one that's that direction. Our farm is that direction, so it's kind of the same way that we are right now, that while we're this way, it would be nice to go and get them. I just don't know that they're ready. But I don't know that anything else is either, so we're gonna go drive around and look. Well, I also found out somebody stole my hitch out of my truck, meaning Dad or Phil used it in theirs, so I don't have any way to move that header cart with my pickup unless I go back to the farm and find a hitch. So we gotta do that too. So this is that field, and right here, boy, they sure look dry, and they look pretty good too. Problem is up here, and I'll show you when I get there. Let's see. Boy, you can really see the soil type differences right there. You see that line? It's not variety, that's soil type. These beans here dried out, and they're dry, they're ready, but look how green they are back there. And look at it up here, you can see the same thing. There's a little circle right there that's drier. But then you've got these, and those got frosted. Question is, are they dry? How wet are they if they're wet? And can we blend them off if they're wet? They look really good, but they don't look dry. And a few is okay, a lot is not. These ones are all gonna get hauled straight into town, so I'm not real worried about them in the bin, but I also don't wanna haul 17% beans in because we'll get dinged pretty hard on 17% beans. So how big are the areas that are too wet? How many of them are there? And what's the ratio? Figure it out. This is sort of a tough call for me, but I think I can blend off the green ones. There's so many that are really, really dry that I think we'll be okay. So I'm gonna talk to Phil, but I think we're gonna move here. Running again. So it's about 5 o'clock. I'm just making a pass to open stuff up. Phil and I got to go back and get the grain cart yet. But we got a truck down here, and we got the combine in the head, so things are good. We should get a fair amount done here tonight. There's 32 acres in this field. There's like 15 over there, and then there's another 30 behind us. We won't get done down here, but well, we might get this one field done. So that would be good. I see something that looks like a problem. See that streak? You see that black thing? Yeah, that's gonna be a problem. Yeah, I think that goes there. Question is, do we have the right bolt? Well, this one's close, but it's a 3/8. Well, it's metric, but it's a size bigger. I need a size smaller, but it's about the right length. So I know I have one of these in the parts bin. Problem is the parts bin is 10 miles away, and there's a hardware store between here and there. So I'm gonna go buy one. I bought 4 of them. We're good for a while. All right, this is pretty easy to slide on there. Might require 2 hands, but I'll show you. Well, just like that. Slides on there, bolt goes through it, and put the nut on, and we go. Back in business, and it's working. Okay, so we're going to try something a little bit different in this field than what we've been doing. That lane there that we drive in and out on to get to the backfield, it actually runs on an angle from the rows, which are set on that side of the field. So the rows go that way. We're going to combine that way and follow this angle so that we're going across the rows just a little bit. I'm going to see if that helps prevent some of the pushing issues that we've had the last few nights, and maybe help feed them in just a little bit better, a little cleaner cut. I don't know. We're going to try it. When I was doing those 30-inch rows, it was nice because the snouts, I could take 16 rows every time, and it wasn't really hard to do. With 15-inch rows, you end up, if you go with the rows, sometimes one of your divider points out there will run right down one of the rows and kind of lay them over. Usually you can pick them up pretty good when you're coming back the opposite way on the next pass, but this will help eliminate that. And also, it's not the exact same teeth cutting the same beans all the time, right? Because the rows kind of move across the head as we go down through the field, and with the 30-inch rows especially, and going with the rows, the same section of knives, teeth on the cutter bar were cutting the beans all the time. The ones in between them hardly did anything. So, I don't know. So far, so good. We are having some fun today. Dry, pretty darn good beans. I'm happy. Even got a grain cart operator here for a little bit until we get a truck full. We can get one more in tonight, I think. Yeah, we got time. They close at 7. It's almost 6:30, but having fun. Watch that auto luber. See it? It's running right now. Pumping grease into the tracks. Oh, we're having fun, guys. Good beans. This combine is just a monster. It's amazing to me the amount of material that you can move through it. And I'm probably not even pushing it that hard. We're only doing 4.7 at the moment. So there's a bar graph here. This one on the end tells me how much of the engine power we're using, percentage. So if it gets up in the yellow, you're pushing it. But we run near some, not a lot. This one's temperature, fuel, and DEF levels. Engine RPM, speed, that's that Hydroflex pressure, what setting it's on, some other indicators like the head tilt level, and then this is my yield loss, grain loss monitor. It tells me how much is coming over the sieves, how much is coming out of the back of the rotor, how much tailings, and then kind of a cumulative. And we're in pretty good shape there. We really haven't had much trouble with loss in beans at all. Once in a while, if I get in a real green spot, it'll spike up, but that's nothing. Somebody asked me the other day what my settings were. Pause the video. Right there they are. That's what I'm running at the moment. And I do play with them a little bit. That concave's pretty far closed, but I've just been watching my sample. And as long as I don't see any splits or too much damage, it's not closed too much. So we're doing good here. Oh, it's so much fun. I don't think I'm gonna want to get out of the cab. Whew, it looks brutal out there. That's soybean dust clinging to the windows. Find the row, find the row. Thank goodness for auto steer. There it is. Okay, last pass in this field. These were good beans. 56. Yeah. I don't know that we'll have quite enough to have that truck full yet. I may jump across the lane and do a little bit, at least to fill the truck. It's starting to get dark, about 7:30. We could probably combine for a little bit, but I might need to go, so we'll see. Okay, we are just doing enough here basically in this field to finish filling the truck, which means I'm going to do the end rows. Yeah, my wife had to run somewhere tonight, and so she left my boys with my dad at the farm, and so I'm going to go back and take care of them. We'll be able to finish this tomorrow fine anyway. It's set up nicely for me to do a live stream tomorrow because we'll be out here for a few hours in the afternoon, so look for that. I'm probably shooting for 1 or 2 o'clock tomorrow, which is today. If you're watching this morning, it'll be Saturday. whatever tomorrow is, the 26th of September, I believe. So anyway, look for that. All right, let's finish up these end rows and get the truck full so we can get out of here. Okay, well, that's gonna be it for tonight. Close up the grain tank. We didn't have a great day, but we didn't do too bad. We did about 80 acres or maybe a little bit more today, so that's good. They're pretty dry here, which I was a little concerned of, although we did grind some green ones out on those ends just now. But that's okay. We'll blend them off and we'll get rid of them and we'll move on. So what are we pushing now? 400 acres done with harvest, I would say, somewhere in that ballpark. I'd have to look up to see exactly, but we're moving right along. We're doing really well, so I'm happy with that, and we should keep going tomorrow. We'll get a little bit more done. Like I said, we'll do that live stream. Yeah, so we've had our fair share of little minor breakdowns, but fortunately nothing too major so far, and I can handle the stuff that takes 5 or 10 minutes to fix. They're frustrating after a while, you know, that bolt on the spinner, that drive head on the cutter bar that we broke the other day, that draper belt popping out of there, but they're minor little things that are quick fixes. So as long as we're not shut down for a few hours or a few days, I guess it's not a big deal. But anyway, have a great night, everybody. Hit that like and subscribe buttons for me if you would, please. Make sure you click that notification bell so that you can be notified when my live stream is happening tomorrow. Like I said, check for it around 1, 2 o'clock or something like that. I'll try and have it scheduled ahead of time so you'll have plenty of notice. And we'll do that. Questions, comments, leave them down below or save them for tomorrow. And oh, I hope I don't forget my camera mount. I really don't want to have to hold my phone the whole time. Remind me that. Write that in the comments right now so that I remember to bring my phone mount with me. Anyway, yeah, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great night, everybody.